This week's update is more of the same. Lots of little jobs that I've done to the van. So let's jump straight in and I'll show you what I've been up to. Okay, so let's get the back of the van sorted out. It did have a plastic strip that came on there. I've put a full length one. Before we do that, let's get it swept out and carpeted in the back there, and then cover these patterns with some Veltrim, make it all look a bit better. Okay, part way there, put this fascia on the front, tucked a little bit around the sides and up here. Not going to bother too much else. So that's that bit. I haven't done that side yet. This cheap carpet I got from work. Divider in the back there. So that's the area where the toilet's going in. It's going to have a door on that. Once I get round to that, this isn't fixed down yet, but it will be screwed down once I've got the side panel in there and that all tidied. I'm not going to carpet or line anything back there. You won't notice it. That's the Thetford 145 that's going in there. Emergency toilet. I do have a pee bottle. And yeah, just put this strip down to cover between the laminate and the carpet. This bar, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, is a replacement full length bar. Normally only comes with a half length one, a mid-section one. So I think that nice and neatly isn't in place yet. I've just put it there to make sure that it does cover the carpet and go under this fascia. You can see how rough and ready that is, but that'll all be hidden away nicely. So yeah, very happy with that. There we go. It's not screwed down yet, so it's a bit light. I need to just paint black in there. And again, it's not screwed down yet. I've got to find the screws. I've got a tub of them in somewhere. There we go. Sometimes you look back at what you've done and you wonder just why did I put all those across there rather than just put a batten on there. Giving this area a little spray just so the gaps between the bar that goes across there don't appear up in white. Put a door on the porta potty box. Unfortunately, I've had to put the hinges on the outside to be able to get it to work. And these bolt latches here, these are excellent. They're all metal, no plastic or nylon inside that snaps away. But it is a little bit tight for getting the loo out. It's very hard to do one-handed. It does come out. But haven't finished off this end panel yet. This is my Huawei MiFi dongle. Not quite sure how to do it. I have got things like smoke alarms, carbon monoxide things to fit in there, but I'll work out a space for them at a later point. Under here is the isolator for the whole of the electrics in this section, just in case. And I've just put that on the other side and just flipped it through. I'm going to turn it now because the stereo's on. I've just turned the volume down to record this. This is the existing telly 230 volt TV that I'm using in my camper van, and I invested in this new one, a Traveller one, which has the 12 volt option, which I thought would be better. It cost a lot more money, and frankly it was rubbish, and it's going back tomorrow. So I'm not going to do a review. I'm not going to do a one versus the other. The only things I noticed that are different are that the 230 volt one has a hardwired power supply. The 12 volt comes with both power supplies, which are connected up, so you can choose to connect which one you want. Unfortunately, with the previous telly, you can't even unplug the cable from the telly. Now what I found is, and I think this is a much newer model TV than this Traveller version, because the Traveller version had crappier menus and was really, really difficult to tune in. I tried many different things, but with exactly the same tuning, of which I only got 12 channels and 2 data channels. On the cello, I got like 140 odd channels, 70 radio channels, countless data channels. No problem exactly, with exactly the same setup. So the performance of this Traveller was not good enough. Now, the only difference is I can notice on the outside, it takes exactly the same remote control. It looks almost identical. The only things I could see on the outside were the Visa 100mm mountings were made of metal, reinforced, whereas on the full HD TV, sorry, the 230 TV, they were just plastic. Now, I'm sure some of the circuitry inside is improved and more hard wearing, and the fact it's got the 12-volt option, but it just isn't good enough. If it doesn't pick up any reception, even though it's got satellite built in as well, but it just wouldn't pick up anything on the normal digital TV aerials, and I tried every setting going and got nowhere. So it's going back, and I'm resorting to this one, which I showed in my previous video, and I showed its low power usage anyway, and I'm not going to watch telly all day. It's just for rainy days and the odd movie. So yeah, I've saved myself some money. That cello originally cost me £105. I think they're up to 120 odd now. And the Traveller, which is definitely in a much older version, I'm sure of it from the menu systems, was £195. Now, I bought this in August of last year, installed it fairly quickly, and it started playing up, and it was the screen. It was really like snowy interference picture, but not actually interference from the signal of the wireless, because I actually moved the screen right next to the camera, and you could see the faint picture, but it just wasn't good enough. So because I bought it through Amazon technical support just said, no, you've done everything to test it, we'll refund you. Now, I was thinking, well, why can't you just send me another one? It's because it was through a third-party supplier. So I had to reorder, and I had to wait for the refund to be collected and a refund to be issued before I had the money to reorder this. And luckily it had gone down £7, or it was on a lightning deal. So yeah, I shall get this reinstalled today, and it'll all be part of finishing off these doors. Now, I don't want to do a full unboxing, but just notice this as you open it, 18-month warranty, so that's definitely worth it, because mine's broken down after 9 months. If it goes again, I'll get that done, and also 15% off coupon. So I'll put that to one side and make sure I register that, because that'll make one hell of a difference. Another great thing about this camera is as you can see there, 5mm is for drilling holes through your vehicle or your dashboard or wherever. This one particularly for the camera, same for the monitor. It's 5mm, so you can put a 5mm hole and squeeze that cable through it, so it doesn't leave. You don't have to put a massive hole to get, these sorts of things through, like this. So that, that's a great design feature. Can't really show you the full setup, but because I'd already connected this up before, I'd run cables through this to the reversing light sensor and to the ground sensor, so it was just a case of reconnecting those cables that I'd left in place. Camera's on there, tucked away. It is just about separate from the number plate, and the monitor's up there on the dash, and it is on a switch, but we're not going to see a picture until it's in reverse gear. But we did see just the startup screen there and a red light on the side. Now I need to stick that down. I need to tidy up there. I've put that USB hub that I've had for ages, because I bought a new one for the back of the van, and rather than just have a 2-port 12-volt socket, USB socket, I put a 12-volt socket in place and then running that hub off it, so I can have multiple things up front charging. I cannot remember if I've shown you since I've screwed this into place, but it is now in place. I'm going to work on something here which will make use of one of those holes in there to lock that in place. Haven't quite worked that out yet, but it's better than having a ratchet that's a pain in the arse to take on and off all the time and to secure to such a thin piece. Now I'm putting an end on panel on here. So what I've done is made two thin panels, carpeted up, and then you get, once they're together and put up, you get a neat finish. Let me put them in place. There we go, just in place. That still allows this to be turned. Just one bracket there, two screws into this from the other side, and that's it. That's now fully fixed in place. Not sure what I'm going to do with this bit yet, but I'll leave it adaptable. So just working on. Another little thing I've done is make this little unit. Needs sanding down, filling and painting, but that fits there. That fits in there. And it doesn't line up. No, it's fine. Just needs tidying up, that's all. It won't be fixed in place until I've put the strip along here, so I can get all that tidy, but at least it hides this really ugly awkward part here. I didn't know what to do with it, and problem almost solved. Just need a little bit of carpet down there. My original plans were to go full-time in the van on the 1st of April. Now things will have to be juggled a little bit because of COVID, obviously, but I've got some really exciting plans. I am going to be going full-time soon, and I'm also hoping to work for a couple of months during the spring to earn enough money to be able to go on a trip. And my trip will be, when I'm allowed to go, will be to Ireland. I was asked about these fans in the comments. So they're on separate controls and one switch for each, so it's plug it in, Shaun. It needs plugging in. Okay, so both fans have a separate switch. Power 1, 2, 3, and again to toggle off. There's a slight vibration there on full pelt. They do rotate and turn quite around. So they're going to sound quite loud, just like a Max Air fan does. So let's turn one of them off. And that's quite a strong breeze. But a little on the noisy side. Are you going to survive with that on all night? I doubt it. At power 1 though, I could sleep through that. I could probably sleep through both of them on power 3. But that's pretty good. Now what it strikes me is there is a little bit of vibration there. I've actually, instead of stuck this mounting using the rubber pad to the thing I've screwed it in, I put some wooden blocks inside of the hollow framework of this took it apart, put some blocks in to make it solid to screw through. But I might just put a rubber pad on the back so that there can be no vibration then between this and the wood, which I'm getting now. Okay, so let's have a look at what power usage this is taking. It keeps even saying charge, but don't forget this is connected up to my main battery. So we can see there's a bit of fluctuation there between 0.8. So let's turn the fan on power 1. Okay, this time it's still going back almost to naught. Okay, I'm going to jump it up to power 3. So that's at power 3 now, and it's finally kicking in. Let's put the second one on power 3 as well. Okay, so both fans are operating on power 3. I wonder how noisy this is over my voice. And the first fan doesn't appear to have lost any power by turning the second fan on. That's obviously an important thing. So the draw's not huge. You could, if you wanted to, you run these all night. I would perhaps only do on level 1. Let's turn them both to level 1. And the tiny vibration will go once I put a rubber mount on it. So this this battery monitor's all over the place. It's connected to a shunt. It's all over the place. Both fans on level 1. So we're using between 0.1 and 1 amp. Not very helpful for a test, but it's low usage. It's more about the noise, I think. And anyway, so that was the test. I will put the details of this fan in the description below, with a link to where I got it from, which will be an Amazon associate link. I bought this massive clock. And yep, it's very bright in that setting. It's got temperature over there, and it's got the month and the day. It's got alarm modes on it as well as a USB connector, on off switch, and snooze control, etc., and also dimming modes. And it's also got a mode where you can turn it off, where the display goes off, and then by making a noise you can get it to come on. Hopefully my snoring won't keep that on. I'm not quite sure where to put that yet. It has a micro USB cable, and it has an internal battery, but on bright settings it won't last particularly long. I like a large clock. The weather stations I've seen and had before have either got really hard to see LCDs, or they prioritize the humidity with massive graphic letters about internal humidity, external humidity. I couldn't give a shit. Unfortunately, there's an obvious lack of videos on YouTube at the moment of people getting out and about, and even people's archives are running out. Although we did have the second wave last week, if it wasn't bad enough the first wave last year, and I'm not talking about COVID, I'm talking about portable lithium-ion battery packs. Last year it was the Power Oak, and this year it's the Jackery. Oh my God, how many videos all came out exactly the same time from the lucky people that got them. Personally, I don't see the point. I've got a little jump starter, and I'll show you a picture in a second. I do need to look at my lighting needs for the rest of this van as well. So got the 4 LEDs above. I've got a couple of spare pucks. 2 puck lights went in there, 2 red lights went in there, as you've seen. I do need to look at something behind the telly and some other things, just so that I've got some real bright lighting for when I need. I've got the black Veltrum equivalent carpet to go on there, then I can get them insulated and filled in. An opening window for there, And in the next few days, I'm going to make a door store for down here. Now, it's not going to be a mega useful one. Bearing in mind, when the doors open, things can get wet. So what I put in there will be limited. But it is useful space. And I do have things like walking poles and, you know, these tripods and things that will fit in places like that. Really handy out of the way. And I've obviously still got to do this corner here. I did actually, if it can be seen, do one little thing today, and it can't, and that's put a black vent over that hole that I put in there, so that goes through to the fridge. Messy up front. Well, that's a lot for this week. Thanks very much for watching. In the next video, I'll be doing some safety things like CO monitors and fire blankets and fire extinguishers, etc., and positioning them in the van. And I'm sure there'll be various more updates. Anyway, if you got this far, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, see you.